There are more things likely to frighten us than there are to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Lucius Annaeus Seneca. What is a numb, crushing realization of something? The math of finality? Where the rest of our lives are actually just a handful of weekends? Or is it climbing the wrong ladder, where someone has fought so hard for an objective, only to know they never actually wanted to play the game? If someone was brutally honest with you, they might tell you, "I don't know what a numb, crushing realization is." For me, the clearest definition of it is the inability to express myself. Why? Let's leave it for the next episode of our series. Here is part 16, The Last Will and Testament. Ikkyu, a famous Zen teacher of the Ashikaga era, was the son of the emperor. When he was very young, his mother left the palace and went to study Zen in a temple. In this way, Prince Ikkyu also became a student. When this mother passed on, she left him a letter. It read, "To Ikkyu, I have finished my work in this life and am now returning into eternity. I wish you to become a good student and to realize your Buddha nature. You will know if I am in hell and whether I am always with you or not. If you become a man who realizes that the Buddha and his follower Bodhidharma are your own servants, you may leave off studying and work for humanity." The Buddha preached for 49 years, and in all that time found it not necessary to speak one word. You ought to know why. But if you don't, and yet wish to, avoid thinking fruitlessly. Your mother. Not born, not dead. September 1st. P.S. The teaching of Buddha was mainly for the purpose of enlightening others. If you are dependent on any of its methods, you are not but an ignorant insect. There are 80,000 books on Buddhism, and if you should read all of them and still not see your own nature, you will not understand even this letter. This is my will and testament. The Tea Master and the Assassin. Taiko, a warrior who lived in Japan before the Tokugawa era, studied Cha-no-yu, tea etiquette, with Sen-no Rikyu, a teacher of that aesthetic expression of calmness and contentment. Taiko's attendant warrior, Kato, interpreted his superior's enthusiasm for tea etiquette as negligence of state affairs, so he decided to kill Sen-no Rikyu. He pretended to make a social call upon the tea master and was invited to drink tea. The master, who was well skilled in his art, saw at a glance the warrior's intention, so he invited Kato to leave his sword outside before entering the room for the ceremony, explaining that Cha-no-yu represents peacefulness itself. Kato would not listen to this. "I am a warrior," he said. "I always have my sword with me. Cha-no-yu or no Cha-no-yu, I have my sword." "Very well. Bring your sword in and have some tea," consented Sen-no Rikyu. The kettle was boiling on the charcoal fire. Suddenly, Sen-no Rikyu tipped it over. Hissing steam arose, filling the room with smoke and ashes. The startled warrior ran outside. The tea master apologized. "It was my mistake. Come back in and have some tea. I have your sword here covered with ashes and will clean it and give it to you." In this predicament, the warrior realized he could not very well kill the tea master, so he gave up the idea. The True Path. Just before Ninakawa passed away, the Zen master Ikkyu visited him. "Shall I lead you on?" Ikkyu asked. Ninakawa replied, "I came here alone, and I go alone. What help could you be to me?" Ikkyu answered, "If you think you really come and go, that is your delusion. Let me show you the path on which there is no coming and going. With his words, Ikkyu had revealed the path so clearly that Ninakawa smiled and passed away. The Gates of Paradise. A soldier named Nobushige came to Hakuin and asked, "Is there really a paradise and a hell?" "Who are you?" inquired Hakuin. "I am a samurai," the warrior replied. "You, a soldier?" exclaimed Hakuin. "What kind of ruler would have you as his guard? Your face looks like that of a beggar." Nobushige became so angry that he began to draw his sword, but Hakuin continued. "So you have a sword? Your weapon is probably much too dull to cut off my head." As Nobushige drew his sword, Hakuin remarked, "Here, open the gates of hell." At these words, the samurai, perceiving the master's discipline, sheathed his sword and bowed. "Here, open the gates of paradise," said Hakuin. Arresting the Stone Buddha. A merchant bearing 50 rolls of cotton goods on his shoulders stopped to rest from the heat of the day beneath a shelter where a large stone Buddha was standing. There he fell asleep, and when he awoke, his goods had disappeared. He immediately reported the matter to the police. A judge named Ooka opened the court to investigate. "That stone Buddha must have stolen the goods," concluded the judge. "He is supposed to care for the welfare of the people, but he's failed to perform his holy duty. Arrest him." The police arrested the stone Buddha and carried it into the court. A noisy crowd followed the statue, curious to learn what kind of sentence the judge was about to impose. When Ooka appeared on the bench, he rebuked the boisterous audience. "What right have you people to appear before the court laughing and joking in this manner? You are in contempt of court and subject to a fine and imprisonment." The people hastened to apologize. "I shall have to impose a fine on you," said the judge, "but I will remit it, provided each one of you brings 1 roll of cotton goods to the court within 3 days. Anyone failing to do this will be arrested." One of the rolls of cloth which the people brought was quickly recognized by the merchant as his own, and thus the thief was easily discovered. The merchant recovered his goods, and the cotton rolls were returned to the people. That's it for today in our series. If you felt a positive shift, hit like and subscribe for more cinematic Zen tales.